and you know, that trans people are having their rights stripped away in real time. And DEI has been a failure, and it was always meant to be a failure, right? Even for those of us who were doing the work, it was never meant to succeed. So what is the work for those of us in corporations, in businesses? What's the work for in work, and what's the work for outside of work? This is our last question. You have like 20 seconds each, or they're going to cut off the mics. Tell us.
So one of the things I think is understanding that you're within a system. So it's not, to your point, it's not individual. And I think one of the things that I have found actually quite heartening is that if you look at our ancestors, it is a history of struggle. And so it sounds like a bummer, but that means that you have to decide which part of the struggle that you're taking on. And struggle means that there is no guarantee that in your lifetime you will see the impact. And that is what our ancestors have always done, but should struggle nevertheless. And so this notion is a very sort of narcissistic, sort of 20th century capitalistic, I'm going to do a thing and I'm going to see the impact. And that's actually very tech. I personally would do it myself. Solidarity and struggle, regardless of what happens in your lifetime, is the thing that's important. And I think the other thing is realizing that no matter where you are a political actor. So you're not separate from politics, and certainly in tech, where tech has really very much aligned itself with forces of harm, you remain a political actor, whether you like it or not.
100%. Just plus on that, the transparency, and I think the outside work is fund movements that are challenging the status quo. Put your money where your mouth is and fund people that are fighting for change.
And I would also question the assumptions in whatever space you're in. If they say we have to build this technology, ask, do we have to do this particular thing? Why? What is it going to do? What are the impacts? Question the assumptions. We have to do it this way. Why do we have to do it this particular way? Because if we, it baked into the assumptions in all of our different organizations, all of our different contexts, are all sorts of injustices and inequities. And if you can push people to at least start thinking, or even challenge them yourself, you know, I think some of that political education can make a transformative difference. And also, put your money where your mouth is. There are lots of organizations that are doing really impactful, powerful things that are struggling for money, struggling for resource. If you can, even if it is a small amount of your money that goes towards, I don't have an organization, so it's not a pitch for me, but genuinely, you can make a transformative difference for lots of different people if you invest in those grassroots movements that are building change for us all.
Thank you, Ebele and Yassmin. Thank you all, you've been a wonderful audience. The panel is over, but I think the main thing to remember is nothing is inevitable and the power is in our hands.